John Lynch has to decide if the 49ers return to being a defensive juggernaut or if they continue as a high-scoring team that simply can't get off the field defensively. Or are they betting on a 30-year-old Nick Bosa and a still recovering Michael Williams to carry the weight of the worst pass rush in the league? Because that would be a dangerous gamble for any franchise. The 49ers aren't just looking for bodies, they're looking for 3 specific archetypes to solve 3 specific failures of the 2025 season: technicality, power, and twitch. The first name you need to understand is Akheem Mesidor out of Miami. Now, he is the technical master of this draft class and the direct solution to the void left by Nick Bosa's rehabilitation schedule. Mesidor is a refined, high-floor pass rusher. Now, most fans look at his age and see a 25-year-old prospect with a limited ceiling, which is why he might be available at pick 27. But the Niners don't need a project. What they do need is a pro-ready technician who can win immediately. And Mesidor's strength is his hand usage. He doesn't just run into tackles, he deconstructs them. His 21% win rate is fueled by a violent club and rip move that allows him to navigate the edge without wasting any motion at all. He recorded 12.5 sacks last year because he understands leverage better than any other prospect in this tier. In the playoff game against Texas A&M, he generated 11 pressures by himself. Now, that's a signal for a finisher. His weaknesses is that he's essentially already a finished product. You aren't drafting him for what he might become later in 3 years. You're drafting him to ensure that opposing quarterbacks don't have 5 full seconds in the pocket. The second solution is Gabe Jacas out of Illinois.
I realized after recording that I botched Gabe Jacas' name throughout the rest of this video. Feel free to roast me in the comments, but at least we know that I am not AI.
Now, if Mesidor is the surgeon, then Jacas is the sledgehammer. He's the physical enforcer this team lost when the interior and edge depth was gutted last year. The 49ers allowed 4.4 yards per carry last season, which is unacceptable for a team, especially with championship aspirations. Jacas solves this because he's a densely built 260-plus pound anchor who can actually hold the point of attack. His primary strength is linear power. He doesn't just go around tackles, he goes through them. He has a well-developed pass rush plan that centers on collapsing the pocket and forcing the quarterback to step up into the waiting arms of an interior. Jacas recorded 11 sacks in the Big Ten because he simply outworked, outpowered collegiate tackles. For a 49ers team that struggled on 3rd and short, Jacas provides brute force necessary to reset the line of scrimmage and stop the bleeding. The weakness with Jacas is his lateral agility. Now, he isn't a bender who is gonna dip his shoulder and run a tight circle around left tackles. He's a north-south player who can sometimes be neutralized by quick-set pass blockers. However, projected at pick 58, he offers a level of stability that allows the 49ers to stop gambling on rotational players who can't hold their gaps. He's the insurance policy that keeps the run defense from becoming a total collapse. The final piece of the puzzle is Mason Thomas out of Oklahoma. Now, he's the twitch factor. While Mesidor brings technique and Jacas brings power, it's Thomas that brings the pure, unadulterated speed that this defense lacked entirely during the 2025 season. Thomas is the definition of a situational nightmare. At 241 pounds, he's undersized by traditional standards, which is the primary weakness. Now, he will struggle if he he's asked to play 60 snaps against a heavy run offense. But the 49ers don't need him to be a blue-collar run stopper. They need him to solve the third down conversion crisis. We allowed teams to convert nearly 50% of their third downs because we couldn't stress the edge with speed. Thomas has a spring-loaded first step that is statistically elite. His 90.4 pass rush grade is a direct result of his ability to stress the tackle's outside shoulder before they ever get a chance to get out of their stance. That is a pure hunter. He's basically a track star in pads, and that speed is the signal we've been missing. When you pair his twitch with the technicality of someone like Mesidor, you create a challenge that forces opposing quarterbacks into a decision faster than their secondary has time to cover. The shift in perspective here is realizing that these three prospects aren't just depth, they're the architectural repair for a broken system. The 2026 season hinges on securing the closers, Mesidor, Jacas, and Thomas. Without them, the defense's decline will shut the 49ers championship window, regardless of how the offense is humming. Now, the question is this: should we prioritize pass rush over offensive protection? John Lynch's strategy in the draft next week will determine if the 49ers will return to their identity as a defensive juggernaut or if they continue to slide into a high-scoring team that simply cannot get off the field when it matters most.
It's not faith.